Howdy everyone, how are y'all doing? It is I, Midnight Hatter, back from, you know, last week. Hope you all are having a good evening and a good week so far. I am gonna just pop in and do a quick little stream to talk about some updates that we've made here. Hopefully people will be excited to see them. What's going on, Pyro? Good to see you. Glad you're still awake. Um, I see Ultronimus is in the house as well. Thank you. Thank you for teleporting in. Yeah, like I said, hope you all are doing well. I've got a few things to share with you before I get into the stream in proper. So you guys might be aware that I've been working on an Eric Blanc high grade Zaku high mobility type, and the biggest problem has been with these stupid spiked shoulders, right? Because I wanted to make two spiked shoulders on this Zaku, and I can't tell you how many times I've tried to repaint this one, and it's not the paint that splits on it, but when I hit it with the top coat, it shrivels up like an old prune. And so I have melted this sucker in bleach so many times. I think I've painted, stripped it, and repainted it about 4 times now, and at this point it's become completely unrecognizable. I'm gonna start after calling it hot dish. So, given the experiments that I did last week, I figured, screw it, I'm gonna go ahead and 3D print myself some shoulders. Unfortunately, I still have some issues with scaling. But after a quick trial and error period, I was able to 3D print a pair of spiked shoulders. They match. They are big enough to fit on the Zaku. So once I get some polycaps fit inside here, these guys are going to be the new shoulders, and I'll finally be able to finish that Eric Blanc Zaku too. But that's not all. But wait, there's more. You see, because I also have this mysterious white powdery substance in a Ziploc baggie. No, it is not illicit drugs. Contrary to what you guys might believe, it is in fact. Let's give it a little charge up here. Glow in the dark pigment powder. This I'm particularly excited about. Yes, you do have to charge it up either with some ultraviolet light, which I've got here, or you can charge it up via sunlight. But what I like about it is that it is plain white powder to start out with, and it turns colors when it is exposed to UV rays. So what I'm hoping to do with this in my gunpla experiments, as you guys know, I'm something of a mad scientist. What I'm hoping to achieve is something similar to the glow sword effect that I did with this Skyward Sword Link miniature that I painted, where in daylight or in plain light, you get a nice silver Master Sword, but when you shine UV light on it, it glows blue. You're probably not going to be able to see it on camera. Unfortunately, it doesn't. I mean, you see a little bit, but it doesn't show up as well. I don't think the camera does it justice, for sure. TOS, TOS. Oh man, I dropped one of my. Okay, saved it. All right. So, with all of that out of the way, I think we've been streaming long enough. I think we've got enough people here in the chat that I can reveal to you tonight's big announcement. It's that I'm slowly turning into Rogue from the X-Men with this gray streak in my hair. Sadly, I am not as thick as Rogue, but no, I kid, of course. What I am here to share with you is that although the version 2 rulebook, the PDF of Gundam 5e, was released a couple of weeks ago, I had meant to have the entire website ready to go all at once. And it just didn't work out because, I'm a terrible coder. But we have finally achieved critical mass, and you can still pop in here and download the PDF rulebook if you want, but if you go to Gundam5e.com, you also have your rulebook is totally back on the website. Not only that, everything has been Proofread and typos have been corrected by the lovely Brandon, also known as Ultronymous, one of the moderators on the Discord server. He went above and beyond the Call of Duty, handling a lot of the errata and the issues that I probably should have caught because, you know, I spent so long writing this thing, right? So yeah, if you hop into the How to Play tab on the website, you'll see, you know, we've got ability scores. We explain what all the skills are. I know that that's been a big point of contention. People, you know, not knowing exactly what skills are, looking at you, Drive. We've got all of our campaigning rules are back in place, so you can look all of that up. And I prefer, you know, the website to a PDF anyway, because it's searchable, sortable, filterable. You can, you know, find the information you're looking for a lot faster than flipping through a PDF, especially considering that I forgot to put page numbers on that table of contents. So anyway, I figured we'd do like a little brief tour of the website so that I can show you exactly where to find particular things in case you have a question. And of course, as always, the website is going to be more up to date than the PDF, but I'm not going to let the PDF get as out of date as it was before we updated to version 2. So, hopping into, you know, the playing the game tab, you've got your ability scores and how to make rolls, how to apply advantage and contests, things like that. This is all basic like D&D 5e stuff, so oh yeah, I am getting old. Every day I get grayer and grayer. But yeah, so this is all basic D&D 5e stuff. So if you are familiar with the rule set from D&D 5e, nothing too much different in here. A couple of the skills have been renamed. Things like animal handling, which doesn't really apply in Gundam, has been replaced with something like drive, which drive is a skill that can be applied to vehicles or, you know, driving horses. Bless you. Oh my goodness. Cinderella's over here just having an allergy attack. Then you get into your campaigning, which covers things like time, movement, speed, travel pace, downtime activities, such as training in other proficiencies for other mobile suits and mobile armors and such. You've got your combat rules. Remember, one of the big sticking points on Gundam 5e version 2 is the personnel versus armored combat. And there are very specific rules about where to apply specific modifiers, because your mobile suits have strength, dexterity, and constitution, which is separate from your pilot's strength, dexterity, and constitution. And the only thing that I think stands out in particular is that you don't add your dexterity modifier from the mobile suit to the mobile suit's evasion rate. You add the pilot's dexterity modifier to the mobile suit's evasion rate, because it's the pilot who's controlling it, not the mobile suit controlling itself. Anyway, going on, you know, we cover things like order of combat, all the stuff that you can do on your turn, stuff like that. Conditions. Actually, I think character conditions is in the next tab. Boom. So we've got all of our character conditions laid out here. One of them that I think raised some questions was the malfunctioning condition, which I added in. You know, base D&D 5e has a bunch of different conditions that characters can be suffering from, but there was nothing really that could affect mobile suits. So malfunctioning is basically the poisoned of mobile suits. And there are various effects that can cause that. So those have been sprinkled into the various new type talents and engineer talents that are available. Damage types all listed here in the how to play section as well. Get the monkey into the Barbas. Yes, exactly. But don't you dare bright slap those poor monkeys. Alright, now moving on to the stuff that everybody likes. Character creation, which I think is going to be a popular tab. And this page is going to look very familiar. I will get a new character creation video up on the site soon, so that, you know, we have like a character creation walkthrough that people can reference. But, you know, we've got classes, ability scores, feats, talents, backgrounds, and optional rules. Classes has been laid out in an accordion format. Oh, well, first of all, when you go to the classes page, you will find the 2 races. There are only 2 races, Earthnoid and Spacenoid. One of the things that I'm going to continue to push is I'm going to continue to get more and more images on the site. And especially, I want to create a sort of catalog of images for people that want to, use them to create tokens and things like that. Bright slapping the monkey will instantly evolve it into a human. No, it will return it to monkey. So here you go. You have your tabs that you can flick open to get into all of your class tables, all of your class information. And it's all laid out, and you can, search it. Like, for instance, if I wanted to look at the Psychic Surge table, there we go. Control F, everybody. And like I said, I'm not going to go through everything because we kind of already did that when we went through the PDF book. But all of your 8 classes are here to open up and take a look at. Again, I want to, start populating it with more images and such. So I will be working on that soon. Then you go into your backgrounds. Similarly, backgrounds have been organized into little flip out accordions as well. So you've got all of your tables that you would roll on. Clergy, debutante, vagrant, etc. And don't forget that your backgrounds actually come with what I like to think are very powerful bonus features. You've got you'll get some bonus skill proficiencies, but some of them have some really powerful bonus features. Like the criminal has the henchman ability, which I think is awesome. Probably a little OP, honestly. Yeah, bureaucrat is the tax collector. Well, bureaucrat has the grease the wheels ability, which I think is pretty sweet because, once per long rest, you have a chance to get yourself a 200,000 cost Gila mobile suit. So, I mean, that's not for nothing, And so that would be our backgrounds page. Feats. We've got our feats up in here. Wait, what's going on here? Not sure I understand the meaning of this. Just a moment. I feel like I have... Michael, I've made a huge mistake. No, there's nothing going on there. Oh, okay. I don't know. Not sure what's going on with that. Suffice to say that back into our feats page. Sorry about that distraction. I've got my phone's blowing up with messages here. So this was this was what took the longest for me to fix up, is that these tables, I'm using a different script that populates these tables, and I mentioned it in a previous live stream. We actually worked on it together, where I am using Papa Parse to parse the JavaScript out and parse out the data from Google Sheets, and that way the table data is a little bit easier to edit because you can manage it in Google Sheets instead of having to log into the back end of the website, which makes it, easy for people to add community content, which is something that is a planned feature for the website. Is I do have some forms that people will be able to fill out if they want to add new mobile suits, add, new classes, things like that. So again, feature creep. But yeah, same deal. These are sortable, searchable. Let's see if I wanted to find, I think Acid Splash is one of the, oh no, this is the feats, sorry. In the talents section, you'll find Acid Splash, but what about, Stalwart Sentry, I think, is one of the Stalwart. No. Oh, it just hasn't updated yet. So it's supposed to be Stalwart Sentinel because I thought it'd be confusing to have a feat that's named the same thing as one of our classes. So that does need to be updated. But there you go. That's your feats page. Like I mentioned before, we've got our talents page as well. And there was a little bit of confusion about talents known versus talent slots, and I think that I've cleared that up on the class pages. You'll see that there are, you have a certain number of slots per level as opposed to talents known per level. So keep an eye out for that on the class tables. But yeah, so let's say for instance we wanted to acid splash, the engineer ability. Easy to search, easy to find. They're paginated, so if you total 340 talents in this game. Who did all that? Not me. Let's take out the acid part of that, and then you'll be able to actually go through the pagination here. This part I'm particularly proud of because, again, I wanted to make this website a sort of one-stop shop, one-page resource for people to use when they are playing this game. Nothing new. So yeah, hopefully you guys will get some use out of it. Now, of course, I'm sure the thing that everybody's been waiting for is the inventory tab, which has all of your gear, weapons, upgrades, and such. The mobile suit list, I'm sure, is going to be a popular page for people to be perusing. I'm trying to figure out how many more P words I can fit into into that sentence. Now you will notice that on tables where there's a lot of data, we have the ability to hide some of those fields, and you just click on these little plus signs and they will open up the tab underneath, and you'll be able to get all of the missing data that you would be looking for. One of the things, like I mentioned, as this website is something of a work in progress, it's really just kind of always in development, right? I do want to start populating all of our images back in place on this table, which, it'll take time, especially now considering that we've added a ton more combat craft and some mobile suits that were not in the game prior. So we'll be adding a lot more images, and I'll probably be leaning on some of the mods. If you're on our Discord server, you know that Legion, one of our contributors, is the master of sprite making. Kshatriya stats, we can do that. In fact, like I said, when you've got the ability to search your table, you can pull up those Kshatriya stats no problem, brother. And again, everything's sortable. You can sort by faction, ascending, descending. You can sort by strength score, which, maybe you want to know what is the strongest mobile suit in the game. It looks like it's going to be the Zazabi, at least as far as the, UC stuff is concerned. And this table doesn't have mobile armors added to it yet. Mobile armors and the enemy codex are going to be added back in soon, so stay tuned for that update. We've got our mobile suit weapons page, which, again, these are all things that can be equipped by mobile suits. Has all of your stats available for those. We've got our personnel weapons, which is everything that you can equip as an infantryman. And hopefully the goal here was to make out of mobile suit combat and out of mobile suit encounters in general more regular. I didn't want the game to be just a constant slog of mobile suit battle after mobile suit battle after mobile suit battle. I really, when I first set out making this project, the idea was to kind of encapsulate all of the role playing that would go on in the Gundam universe. Or the Universal Century, at least. Mobile suit upgrades. As you know, we've done away with the... Oh, look at that. See, I went and blew it. I forgot to add in the mobile suit upgrades table. Well, I suppose I can go ahead and add it live here, and you guys will get to see how cool this new script is that I'm using. Oh yes, people are definitely excited for G Gundam homebrews. Get out of here with your IQ drain. You jerk. Alright. Just log into our back end here. Upgrades. See, y'all didn't think that I was going to update this live on stream in front of you, did ya? So we're going to copy that in, paste it. We are going to change the ID. Make sure that it is responsive. I think this is right. Let's just make sure. Just gotta make sure that I put in my responsive tab here. This is where the website crashes and goes down permanently. Yes. Yeah, this is where I get swatted. And no. Let's see here. I don't know why I went to that. That's not a page that I should have gone to check. Beep, 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 beep. Okay. Yeah, I did it right. Sweet. So if I hit refresh. Oh, this is just bourbon, but it's in a fancy moonshine glass, but it's a lot. And there you go. Oh, I just realized, like, just how small this was, and you guys probably can't read. Never learned to read. Hopefully, you guys can read that now. Booyah. Probably want to refresh that to make sure that the column, like, lines up. Right? There it goes. Yeah, it was bothering me that, like, shrinking the page for some reason, the headers get messed up. So don't do a lot of resizing the window if you're if you're browsing. You know, if you open it on mobile, stay on mobile. Let's see, double medium shield description anyway. Yeah, wow. Boop. It's got your special features in here. And as you scale it down, you know, more and more columns will break off just to make it more legible. So hopefully that is a good feature that you guys enjoy. Now, fingers crossed equipment works. A hatter's work is never done, as they say. Let's go ahead and fix that one up. And in the meantime, while I'm repairing that live on camera, you'll notice that in the resources tab, I brought back the old and outdated content, which I know a lot of people have been asking about. So the retired content has been added back in. All of your classes are available: Guerrilla, Artillery, Infiltrator, Engineer, Cyber New Type, True New Type, proto new type. Now, the older materials are stored on a Google Sheet that is embedded here currently. And so all of the information is still here. What I need to do is I need to set up these scripts so that they populate the same way as the new stuff. So for now, all the information's there. You can find it, you can search it, but it's just not very clean. You have to kind of scroll everything, and I don't like that. So I will be, as time allows, I even put a note in here, as time allows, I will rebuild the sort, search, and filter functions on the tables for all the old stuff for those who want to use it. I actually got more requests about the old materials than I expected I was going to. So, I'm going to make it available. Yes, the past never dies. The past never dies, indeed. Even if you kill it, if you have to. So let's make sure that I get the right table ID. And then we will double check that equipment tab. And once that's done, I think that's really all that I wanted to share on stream, is that the website is back up and working the way it was supposed to be. Way back in the times of yore. So let's see here. Just need to paste this table in place. Yeah, all of this stuff is embedded using shortcodes. So, but again, the tables update daily based on what's been entered on a public Google document. Public in the sense that anyone can view it, not public in the sense that anyone can edit it. But, like I said, it makes it a lot easier for me to manage community content because I can post data there much easier than giving people free access to, my servers and stuff. Because I don't want that. I don't want people to be able to hit me with, injection attacks and things like that. Booyah. I have slow internet. So there we go. These are the sort of inventory items that many of which, again, were either created by or at least edited by Ultronomus. So thank you very much. Oh, good night, Pyro. Thank you for letting me crash your stream earlier. Let's see. Silver lining, you get to flex your coding skills live again. Yeah, I guess so. No rest for the Xeon, indeed. But yes, people, go follow Unusualist Pyro on Twitch and YouTube. He was kind enough to let me join him on stream today, this afternoon. Well, afternoon for me, evening for him. But, we played some GBO2 together, and, he went easy on me. So, that is really the big reveal of this evening, is that while the rulebook is still available to download, the website is now updated to reflect all of the new changes and the old and outdated content, if you so desire to use it, is now available for you to find. Still want to add more images, more resources for people. Some of the things that I'm going to be working on are the enemy codex, which is essentially the monster manual of the system. I do want to rebuild some of those dynamic character sheets that I had before, enemy generators, mobile suit generators, things like that. And that's another thing that the Papa Parse JavaScript framework, as well as using that Google Sheet data, is going to allow me to do, is instead of having hard-coded limitations to what mobile suits enemies can have, if I were to build an enemy generator now, then it pulls from that live data that's on the Google Sheet. So the more mobile suits I add to it, the more mobile suits can show up in the generator. Pretty cool. So hopefully you guys are excited about that. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited to see what else you guys do with Gundam 5e and, this whole little D&D adaptation. Well, that's about all I have for this evening. Short stream, comparatively speaking. Like I said, I just wanted to share that this was live so that you guys, knew that it was out there. I didn't want it to fly under the radar, so to speak. And then, of course, share some of my upcoming Gunplot experiments. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for hanging out. And thank you, Ultronimus. Thank you guys so much for hanging out and watching the stream. And if I am not back with some videos kind of talking about more of my 3D print experiments and some of the video game dev stuff that I've got coming down the pipe, I'll catch you in next week's live stream. With that, I wish you all a good evening, a good rest of your week, and again, if you're digging the Gundam 5e stuff, like the video, subscribe to the channel, come join us on Discord where you can shout at me in person, and if you wanted, specific content added to the site, you can give me feedback there. Otherwise, I will catch you all later. Thank you guys so much again. Take it easy.